Greenbox here, and today we are talking about games. So most certainly game franchises. Like, some games can go from being the king of all games and the top of the world to a mere laughingstock in the community. So that's why today I am talking about game franchises, and a certain game which have fallen from grace, which went from hyped to laughed about, from zero to hero, or as simply as they are not as popular as they once were. So let's get into it. There are 5 games, and the first one is the Fallout series.
To the town of
yes, the Fallout games, made by Todd Howard and Bethesda Studios. These games were critically acclaimed, always getting over 80 on Metacritic, and the user rating never dipping below 7.5, which was very good. Fallout is a game which takes place in a nuclear wasteland, but on E3 2018, it was a big day because Todd Howard announced that Fallout 76 was coming out, and Todd Howard spoke about this game like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ, that everything was going to be new and flashy, and then it came out. But when it came out, it was a buggy, glitchy mess, which was very bad and got critically panned, and it was a mess, and there were so many glitches like what you're seeing right now. People's accounts people would log into other people's accounts there, and you could glitch through other things. Your friends become enemies. There were so many glitches, in fact, that one man made a 2-hour video on every single glitch. I haven't watched it, but I would suggest it's worth your time. But along with that, there were so many controversies, like the duffel bag kerfuffle. That's what it's actually called in the community, where people were promised a canvas bag, but it wasn't. That's what it looked like, but they were promised in the advertisement something like that, which then got put into a lawsuit with false advertising. But along with that, there was the Nuka-Cola situation. The Nuka-Cola situation was where along with the duffel bag, they were promised a 1 bottle of Nuka-Cola, which is a bottle in the drink in the Fallout game, I believe. And they were promised to be the finest Coke you could find. But when it came out, it was advertised to be look a glass, but in fact it was a cheap plastic shell, and the rum was very bad, but you couldn't even pour it in because it would just leak down the side, along with a cheap 50p sticker to slap on it. Many people weren't happy with this, and this also got added with the lawsuit. This also got added to the lawsuit with everything else. Well, the duffel bag, and later on the emote bundle. It was very bad, but then you had the holiday emote scandal, which I think was their biggest one, because sure, the other ones you can argue that it wasn't false advertising if they didn't say it, but this one was blatantly a crime. Basically, they released a Christmas emote bundle, which had the original price of 2,400, but then they cut it in half to 1,200. But it actually came out at the cost of 1,200. This is a crime. You can't do this. It has to actually be 1,200, because it was never sold at 2,400. And that is a crime. Also at the moment, because you can't do that in Europe.
When he tried to match the Ranger with
Australia,
the big iron on his hip.
New Zealand. That is
Big iron on his hip.
added on to the lawsuit. Along with that, there was a hacking and cheating problem. But it was clear to everyone who bought the game that Bethesda Studios only cared about one thing, and that was bringing people to their Tama shop where the Christmas bundle was sold, and that was to bring people to the Atomic shop where the Christmas bundle was sold, because they could sell and make a lot of money. And they've recently updated the game. It's still quite bad what I've heard, but it's just now mainly just trying to make money from the Atomic shop. They sold also as well discs with, well, they were pieces of cardboard where you could literally just take them and walk out with them, because you didn't need to scan them, and it's literally just a piece of cardboard with a code on it. And no one wanted this game on disc. Everyone refunded it, and there was also another controversy with Bethesda saying that, you can't, no one gets a refund. People were angry. That also went on to lawsuit, because some people originally got 100 hours out of the game and got a refund, but people who had 15 minutes of the game didn't get refunded. I went on eBay, and this is the actual price. It came out at 60 quid. I'm pretty sure this is the price a year after. That is disgraceful. And a game with such prestige as Fallout has now been reduced to a cash cow and a absolute joke. And it is sad, because I've actually started playing Fallout New Vegas. It's a pretty good game, and it is sad what happened to the Fallout series. Along with that, the Internet Historian made a really, 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 really good video on this, on the fall of Fallout 76, which includes a lot more scandals and a bunch of other things that I didn't want to get into, because I want to talk about 4 more games which fell from grace. Well, it is a true shame what happened to Fallout. Such a well-respected game franchise, now reduced to a money machine and a glitchy wasteland. I'm genuinely surprised that Bethesda haven't just given up all support on this game. And it is very sad. But the next game, I'm not going to say its name, I'm going to let the intro speak for itself, but all I'm going to say is, it is going to take you on a ride. Ah yes, Marvel vs. Capcom. Even though I've only played one of their games from their franchise, I love this franchise. Basically, for the 3 people who do not know, Marvel vs. Capcom is a fighting game. It's a very good game. I've played it with a few of my friends. And the game is basically about 3-on-3 team action, where the superheroes from the Marvel franchise fight the characters from the Capcom franchise. The first ever Marvel vs. Capcom game, well, official Marvel vs. Capcom game, came out in 1998, and it was received pretty well. It came on the Dreamcast, and it was received quite well. It was a small roster, but the characters all were very unique in their own different ways, with a very cool final boss, Cyber Akuma. Akuma's a robot, very cool. And then 2 years later, possibly one of the greatest fighting games of all time, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, and this game was taken super well. Everyone loved it. It was always at Evo. It was always, I don't know if they had main stages back then, but if they did, this was always there. It was always in the headliners. And then number 3 came out. Number 3 was also as well very good. This is the one I've actually played. I've played it before. It is very good. It is a good game to play with friends. I played it with my friend Nathaniel, and yeah. And then after that, it was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and this game bombed hard. Every single one got 90 over 92%. This one only just managed to scrape flipping over 75%. And not many people like this game. It never even made Evo. It wasn't even like a side game. And that is disgraceful for a game, well, for a franchise of such respect in the fighting game community. it never even made Evo, which is the world's biggest fighting game tournament, where you'd have Street Fighter, Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat on there. And the roster was so small. This is the roster from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and this is the roster of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, with all the characters unlocked and DLC. That is shocking. And they missed out on such fan-favorite characters as Cable, Storm, and Akuma. And what I'm about to show you are these are some of the screenshots of the trailer and the story. These are actual graphics which made it into the game unpolished. They weren't even looked over. This is how they all looked in cutscenes and games. It is very ugly. And I'm pretty sure after that Capcom just let this game to die, because after they added three more characters, one of them was literally a week after they cut all ties to this game. It had 3 months. It had 3 months to live, and then it died. And it's a shame, because I've looked at the news, and there's literally no new news of another Marvel vs. Capcom game coming out. So this could be the last one, and that is really sad, because this is a very fun game franchise, and it makes me very sad. Sad to see how it went out, and it is a shame. It was super sad what happened to Marvel vs. Capcom, and if that is the last game, it is a real bummer way to go out. But the next game, is breaking the rule. But I think it should be spoken about, because what happened to it? You're breathtaking. Yeah, if you didn't know, we were talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Wake the flip up, samurai. We got a city to burn. Banana. Ah yes, Cyberpunk. One of the biggest flops and laughing jokes of the gaming community, and one of the biggest falls from graces I've ever seen in video games. Made by CD Projekt, this game took a whopping 8 years to complete. At the time when this game was first being made, the song Happy, Wake Me Up, and Raw were some of the most popular songs at that time. This was made 8 years ago. At that time, the Wii U had just come out, and Breaking Bad had just ended. That's how long this game has been in production. But in E3 2018, something magical happened, and Cyberpunk got to see a trailer, and it was a trailer and gameplay, and more announced. But the person who held this conference was Reddit god Keanu Wholesome 100 Chungus Reeves, and he came out of his tomb and he started speaking and preaching, and then until he muttered the iconic words, "You're breathtaking," and the crowd went wild. But just like Fallout 76, when this game came out on the for the Xbox and the PlayStation, this game was filled with bugs, glitches, graphics. People would spawn in weird places like what you're seeing right now, and the games would crash. But what I have heard, though, the deluxe edition, well, what you got was actually pretty good, and it was panned on Xbox and PlayStation, but on PC, because it could actually run properly, it got a pretty good review. But yeah, I have heard on the deluxe edition was actually pretty cool when you got everything. But Cyberpunk 2077 has just been demoted to funny Reddit memes, because you could customize your penis, and this is what people did with it. CD Projekt released a official apology, and they said they were gonna patch it up and work it up, patch the game up. But in my opinion, I already think the game's fate has been sealed as one of the biggest flops and shock releases. I'm pretty sure it's up there with Star Wars No Man's Sky as very bad releases. But Cyberpunk did become a laughingstock of the gaming world, and it was a massive disappointment. But there is another game, Metal Gear, that has fallen from grace as well, and let's see why.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme.
Ah yes, the Metal Gear games, some of the most iconic games of all time. Metal Gear is based on Sneak, and it was published by Konami, but it was made by a man called Hideo Kojima. This game, the plot of Metal Gear is you are a assassin or super soldier called Solid Snake, and your job is, well, whatever task you get assigned. It's most famous for sneaking and the obvious use of boxes, because the Metal Gear is famous for using the boxes. And through most of its lifetime, it's had pretty good reviews. Mostly never dipping below a 7.5, same as the Fallout games. And they have been critically acclaimed, especially Metal Gear Solid, released on October 21st, 1998. But in 2015, Kojima left Konami after a very public fight, and due to this, there was a cancel of the Silent Hill reboot. But Konami decided to kill the Metal Gear franchise by the only way they know how to: release a very bad microtransaction, one of the worst games of the year, and a slap in the face to the Metal Gear fans all around. And Kojima, he went to found on his own company, Kojima Productions, where they've only made one game, Death Stranding, and it was alright. It was critically acclaimed, but user-wise, it had mixed reactions. But I think Metal Gear has met his fate, because there seems to be no plans for a new Metal Gear game, which does make me sad, because it is probably going to be relegated to either remasters, re-releases, or just chuck into collection games. And the closest thing we'll probably ever get to a new Metal Gear game is Solid Snake being in Super Smash Bros. It was very sad what happened between Konami and Kojima, but there's one more game I need to talk about, because this game had the biggest fall from them all. It went from Mount Everest to the pit of hell. That's how far it fell, and I don't think it's gonna make a comeback. There's been little glimmers of hope, but I think its fate has been sealed as it has been. And ladies and gentlemen, this game is Sonic the Hedgehog. Ah yes, Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog was made by Yuji Naka and Noto Oshima, and it was published by Sega. Yeah, and it was like Mario, but faster. The man you're about to see is Noto Oshima, and the other person you're about to see is Yuji Naka. Sonic got his humble beginnings on the Sega Genesis, and the 2D era for him was the best time to be a Sonic fan. He even beat Mario at one point. For example, Sonic 1, timeless classic. Everyone talks about this, well, everyone who played it talks about it as the greatest game of all time. Number 2, good as the sequel, even better, some say. Times classic as well. Sonic and Knuckles, classic game, but now we go into the 3D era. With first, Sonic Art. It was okay. There were some problems with it, but it did make a pretty good creepypasta with Tails doll. Then you got Sonic Championship. It was quite bad. And then you got... Sonic 06. As labelled as one of the worst games of all time. This game, was god awful. It has gone down as one of the worst games of all time. Critically panned by everyone. Glitches like you're about to see right now. This man, you're supposed to spawn on that bridge, but this guy actually spawned on the hang glider, which and he couldn't do anything about it. Along with that, the game crashed, it bugged, a glitch. There was the silver boss, you could not beat him, because if he caught you in an endless loop, you had to reboot the game, and it was panned. And it was supposed to be a celebration game. And after this game came out, Yuji Naka left Sega. But ladies and gentlemen, the worst was yet to come. Because in 2014 came, well, I think I'll just let the game speak for itself. Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. You thought Sonic 6 was bad. Zooey Mama, this game was 10 times worse. The critically panned, bugged, glitch, and you couldn't even 100% complete it. And you couldn't do anything. Sonic Mania, there was a brief glimmer of hope, but when you got fans like this, it's very hard to approve.
And that's not all. People say Sonic is unappealing to the eye. Really? Sonic has cartoonish appeal. Look at this. I mean, this is freaking adorable. You see, how?
And like this guy.
Boobies. Vaginas. Gorgeous.
But overall, I think Sonic, will he climb out of his pit one day? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think he will forever be seen as Mario's best friend, Mario's mate for the Olympics, and it is a true shame and very sad. I would like to thank everyone for watching this video. Any videos or clips I've put in the description, well, the people who posted the clips. So yeah. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.